Pakistan beat the Netherlands in the first match of the T20 World Cup, but they took the scenic route. I was in the stadium in Colombo at the SSC for this one, commentating on the game, and it was one of those matches where the scoreboard does not tell you the full story. The experience at the ground, the way things went down, you just kind of had to be there. But if you weren't there, let me tell you how things happened. Pakistan got over the line, but they made it far harder for themselves than it ever needed to be. The Netherlands batted first and put up 147. It was a competitive total without being overwhelming, and for large parts of their innings, they did a lot of stuff right. They started brightly, they took on Pakistan's new ball bowlers early and sort of raced to 78 in the first 10 overs, which is comfortably their highest 10-over score against Pakistan in T20 internationals. There was intent from the start. Michael Levitt setting the tone, including a pull shot for 6 off Shaheen Afridi that went out of the stadium. And it showed that the Netherlands weren't there to mess around. Baz de Leader, Colin Ackerman, Scott Edwards, they all chipped in with useful contributions. And there was a sense that if one of those 5 could have batted deep, they might have pushed this total into something genuinely uncomfortable for Pakistan. But the innings never quite kicked off for them, not in that way. Like once Edwards was dismissed, the Netherlands were left short of firepower in the closing overs. Pakistan's bowlers, particularly Abrar Ahmed, tightened the screws, varying pace and line, and the wickets, they began to tumble. The last 4 overs were really costly for the Netherlands as they lost 6 wickets for just 20 runs, sliding from a position of promise to being bowled out for 147, probably 15 to 20 runs short of where they might have been with a stronger finish. And Pakistan's fielding was a major feature of the Netherlands innings. There was a stunning piece of work from Babar and Shaheen to remove Michael Levitt, a moment that felt significant at the time. It was a relay catch, which are becoming very common, but you don't often see Pakistan involved with those. Well, this was done really slickly by Babar in particular. Pakistan have often been criticised for their catching and ground fielding, but they were sharp, they were athletic, they were generally error-free in the field, and those small moments ended up having a big influence on how the Netherlands innings played out. When Pakistan began their chase, it looked like a formality initially. Saim Ayub flew out of the blocks at the top of the order, and when his cameo ended, Saibzada Farhan carried on in the same aggressive vein. Salman Agha also playing aggressively. By the time Pakistan reached 98 for 2 after 11 overs, they were cruising. They just needed 50 more runs from 9 overs with wickets in hand, lots of wickets in hand, against an opposition that was already beginning to look a little bit deflated. In the ground, it felt like the contest was gone, like the Netherlands. It was just a matter of time before they lost the game. And then the game turned. Paul van Meekeren produced a remarkable over, taking 2 wickets in 3 balls, a double wicket maiden, and suddenly Pakistan's chase wobbled. That pressure that had almost been non-existent started to creep in. Babar Azam, who up to that point had been playing the role of anchor, keeping things calm at just over a run a ball, he found himself searching for acceleration and lost his shape and holed out down the ground. Very unnecessary. 2 balls later, Usman Khan chopped on as well, and a chase that had been completely under control started to unravel. Between the 12th and the 19th over, Pakistan managed just 21 runs and lost 5 wickets. The asking rate ballooned from something manageable into something approaching absurd. From being a canter, the chase became a scramble. Watching it unfold in the stadium, you could feel the tension rise with every dot ball. The Netherlands believed, in fact, they were heavy favourites. Pakistan looked like a team playing not to lose rather than playing to win. Logan van Beek then bowled what could have been the decisive over. He had already picked up a wicket earlier in the innings, and when Fahim Ashraf tried to scoop him down the ground, the ball went straight up towards long on, and Max O'Dowd got underneath it, got both hands to the ball, and for a split second it looked like the Netherlands were about to pull off one of the great opening day shocks in World Cup history. But the ball slipped out of his hands as he went to complete the catch, dropping harmlessly to the turf. And it was one of those moments where the game changes, and you feel for Max O'Dowd, because had he taken that catch, it was game over. Fahim Ashraf had been given a life, and he made the Netherlands pay for it immediately. In the penultimate over of the game, he smashed 24 runs from 1 over with a sequence of sixes and boundaries that completely flipped the momentum back in Pakistan's favour. What had looked like a nervous, potentially disastrous chase suddenly swung back towards Pakistan in the space of a few deliveries. Now, Fahim wasn't flawless. He rode his luck, and that drop catch was a big moment, but in the end, he was the one who took Pakistan over the line, finishing unbeaten on 29 and seeing the game through with 3 balls to spare. Pakistan got home at 148 for 7, winning by 3 wickets in a match that felt far more dramatic than a simple 3-wicket margin suggests. From the Netherlands' point of view, this will feel like a missed opportunity. They were competitive for large stretches of the game. They were even ahead at points in the game. Their top order showed intent. Their bowlers found ways to apply pressure, and for a brief window in the middle of Pakistan's chase, it genuinely felt like they might pull off something special. But the collapse at the end of their own innings and the dropped catch late on proved decisive. Against a team like Pakistan, those small margins tend to matter. For Pakistan, this was a reminder that preparation and pedigree don't always guarantee a smooth ride. They came into this tournament having played a lot of T20 cricket, a series win over Australia, a whitewash in fact, looking in really good form. But when you're in that World Cup scenario, things can change very quickly. In their very first match, they found a way to turn a comfortable chase into a nerve-shredding finish. In the end, they got the points, but in the tournament, they got the points, and that's all that really matters in the tournament, but there'll be a lot of reflection needed about this performance from the side. The fielding was excellent, the bowling did its job at the death, but the batting collapse in the middle of the chase was self-inflicted, and against stronger opposition, those kinds of stumbles can prove far more costly. From where I was watching the action in Colombo, calling the action as it happened, this felt like one of those games that sets the tone for a tournament. It had tension, momentum swings, individual moments of brilliance, and individual moments of error. A reminder that in T20 cricket, no chase is ever truly safe until it's finished. What did you think of Pakistan's performance in this first match? What did you think of the Netherlands' performance? And what would you do differently in forthcoming games? Make sure you let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. Appreciate you joining me, and join me again for the next one.